Communication is crucial to everyone's lives because it expresses and transfers information to everyone. In the Philippines, communication plays an important role as it helps the lives of Filipinos in different fields from time to time. Today, as it evolves, let's compare the modern and traditional way of communication in the Philippines. Back in the day, the radio was the heart of communication.
Families would gather to listen to news, stories, and music. It was a shared experience, but information was limited and slow to spread. Now, we have smartphones, the internet, and social media. We can connect with anyone, anywhere, instantly. Video calls, messaging, and endless information at our fingertips. Back then, communication was typically one-to-one or one-to-few, as speech could only be heard by those within the sound of your voice. At present, a single social media post can be a 1 to billion broadcast, reaching a global audience instantly and creating digital communities. Communication back then was a physical acting on paper, carried by hand. It was permanent but slow and fragile. Now, technology makes messaging instant and borderless. With technology, distance is no longer a barrier to messaging.
Fun fact!
You know, in 1901, Marconi sent the first wireless signal, a Morse code S, across the Atlantic, revolutionizing global communication.
Let's explore the revolution and transportation from tradition to modern. Back then, the original jeepney, repurposed from World War II and American military jeeps, was a Bourbon utilitarian vehicle.
It was a symbol of Filipino resourcefulness, diskarte, getting people moving with whatever was available.
It represents the ongoing struggle to preserve cultural identity while embracing cleaner, more efficient, and safer public transport. Travel between the 7,000 plus islands relied on bankas and sailing vessels. These journeys were slow, dependent on weather, and often dangerous.
Inter-island travel is dominated by massive roll-on roll-off, or RORO, ferries and fast crafts. This has created a nautical highway, seamlessly connecting islands, boosting trade, and making travel faster and more reliable. Back then, the kalesa, or horse-drawn carriage, was a common sight, providing slow, short-distance travel in towns and cities. It represented a quieter, more personal, but limited mode of transport.
Today, the bus is the backbone of the modern commute. Vast networks of buses connect cities and provinces, offering an affordable and essential service for millions of Filipinos.
Education helps people gain knowledge and prepare for life. Before, learning was simple, focused on books and teachers. But now it's more modern, student-centered, and using technology and interactive lessons. Now we are going to show you how education works then and now.
Then,
Education was largely limited to urban areas and the elite, often taught by Spanish friars in convent schools. Now, education is a constitutional right with public schools and state universities established across the archipelago, making it accessible to millions. Then, the curriculum focused heavily in Catholic doctrine, Spanish language, and limited vocational skills under colonial rule. Now, the K-12 curriculum is comprehensive, globally competitive, and taught primarily in Filipino and English, emphasizing science, technology, and critical thinking. Then, learning was rigid and rote-based, centered on memorization and strict discipline from the teacher. Now, learning is increasingly student-centered and interactive, leveraging technology like online resources and laptops, and encouraging collaboration and creativity.
Medicine. Medicine is very important in the Philippines, helping people stay healthy and treat illnesses. It's very vital part in the country's healthcare system. And now, we're going to compare the traditional and modern healthcare system in the Philippines.
Back then, people relied on albularyo and hilot who used herbs, prayers, and spiritual rituals. And now, dominated by medical doctors, evidence-based medicine, and advanced pharmaceuticals. Back then, illness was often attributed to supernatural causes, which are usog or kulam, or an imbalance in the body. But now, people understood that usog or kulam are caused by pathogens, which are the viruses or bacteria, and genetics, with prevention through vaccines and public health programs. Back then, childbirth and maternal care primarily handled at home by a hilot with practices passed down through generations, and now occurs almost exclusively in hospitals and clinics under the care of trained doctors and midwives.
In the Philippines, words and lifestyle blend traditional and modern elements, with many Filipinos prioritizing family, social connections, and food in their daily lives. And in the Philippines, there are many industries that helps the works and lifestyle of many Filipinos. Industries such as the BPO, healthcare, education, tourism, and environment. And this could be a big part of their culture.
Life and work were centered in the home and the farm, also known as bukid, with families often engaged in agriculture or fishing.
Work is dominated by the office, factory, or the gig economy,
requiring a daily commute and physically separating work life from home life. The extended family live close together, with multiple generations supporting each other in daily life and livelihood. The nuclear family is more common, often isolated in cities, with family connections maintained digitally instead of in person.
Our world has evolved from conventional letters and horses to modern technology. While we appreciate today's instant communication, speedy transportation, and digital services, we must utilize technology properly, appreciate new achievements while preserving the knowledge and resilience of the past in order to create a more balanced future.